going, everyone? For everyone that followed my case this long, thank you. Again, my name is RoShawn C. Evans. Born in Hollywood, California. Raised in Flint, Michigan. Live down here in Houston, Texas. And I am on the Houston Sex Offender Registry due to, I would call it a mishap. Angry parent, scared girl, inadequate counsel, in a courtroom alone with no support, and ended up taking a plea deal that will probably follow me for the rest of my life, as I said on previous videos. But when it went through all of these packets, and the more I think about everything that I just went through with you, the more I read these legal documents with actual events from over 20 years ago, it still takes me to the mindset of the justice system and the intent of the justice system and why the justice system was even created and to begin with. And then I move a little bit further down from why the justice system was created, and then I look at the definition that they put behind the justice system, and the justice system main purpose, so-called, the verbal purpose is to assure safety, or the purpose of the justice system is to serve people. Justice, like we supposed to get justice out of the justice system. But I still can't grasp or put into play the justice in my case. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is if the sole purpose of the justice system is to ensure that people get justice, I'm trying to figure out where's the justice in my case. Going back through these packets and just looking over everything, just thinking back in my mind from the time I was 17 all the way up until now, knowing that my first charge was kidnapping because of a young female, a year and 4 months younger than me, snuck away from her home that I didn't kidnap. She snuck away from the house, which the legal documents clearly show she snuck away from the house. Her mom told her not to leave the front yard, but yet she disobeyed her mom and she did what she wanted to do anyway. They couldn't get me on kidnapping, so they changed the charge to rape. The girl told law enforcement, the detective that was investigating the case, that there was no rape and that all of this happened because of her and that she wanted to have sex. And in the same sentence, the mom interjects and say, the girl, and I have not been saying her name on purpose, but they've been saying the girl the mom say the girl will testify on him and anybody else that was involved. But again, it was like, involved in what? Nothing took place outside of the young girl sneaking out of her home to do what she wanted to do, which was be an adult. They couldn't get me on rape charges because nobody was raped. And, me as a 17-year-old kid thinking that as long as I told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God in the courtroom, everything could be okay. And I told them exactly what happened from the beginning to the end. There's no reason to lie. And when I tell them what happened, when I tell them how she called me and told me not to meet her at her house, but to come to the corner, me telling her we almost there, to come on, and how she jumped in a vehicle immediately going in my pants and touching me, and I'm touching her, and we fondling each other, and we doing what we want to do. They say, aha, gotcha. Now we got you because you just admitted you touched her and she's a minor and she can't legally consent unless she have a legal parent guardian's consent, or she got to be 18. And it's like, again, we're a year and 4 months apart. Neither one of us was 18. So they changed my charge again for the third time, which was touching a minor, because I admitted to mutually touching, and that's what we were doing. And they say, aha, and it's like, I signed this plea deal thinking that it was the best deal for me at the moment because I didn't want to go to prison for 15 years, and yet over 15 years I'm still dealing with the same situation. Again, I make these videos not trying to demean or tear nobody down, or I don't make these videos to attack anybody, but I make these videos because I want justice, and if the justice system is about justice, and I don't understand how, to me, some cases could seem so simple to fix, but yet they make them so hard. I don't get why my case is so hard. So I've been going through these cases, and again, from the legal package where it showed a girl snuck out of the home, where the mom was mad, and it shows how she said she wanted to have sex and that all this is her fault, to telling the judge that she didn't want anything to happen to me. She didn't want me to go to jail. She didn't want me to go to prison. She just didn't want anything to happen. To her mom freaking out and tripping and saying how she want me punished by any means necessary. To, me, again, looking for justice throughout my entire life because, I signed this deal, to avoid 15 years in prison at the age of 17 behind a young lady 1 year and 4 months younger than me sneaking out, to where I thought initially that I would have probation and an ankle monitor, to knowing at the last minute that the judge wanted me to do sex offender registration, which I had no idea what it was at the age of 17, but my lawyer telling me I just have to tell the police where I live for the next 10 years. And it's been over 20 years and I am still dealing with the same thing. So again, I'm trying to figure out where's the justice in my case. I shouldn't have been here to begin with. No crime was ever committed, but yet I was sentenced, and it seemed like they was trying to sentence me to anything they can sentence me to, just to make an angry parent happy. And now we go through all the testimonies, where really no one's doing too much talking except the mom, her mom, of course, and the lawyers, the judge. But we get to a point where something changed in my this whole little program here. So the young girl, at one point, it appeared that she wanted to tell the truth, but was afraid to tell the truth because of her mom. To getting older and me serving my time and going through everything that I signed up for in order to avoid 15 years, and to be in a position to where what I was pushed into signing as a kid to avoid that 15 years, I'm still dealing with. And instead of the young lady coming forward to help me because it's the right thing to do, she now, as an adult, changed her story from her sneaking out the house to her wanting to have sex, from her saying this is all her fault, from her saying she don't want me to go to jail or to go to prison and she don't want anything to happen to me, to saying she was gang raped. But as an adult, because I've been all over the place telling my story. I've been all over the internet. I be on school campuses. I be at events with politicians and selling books everywhere. And I'm trying to do everything I can do to change laws, not only with sex offender laws, but just laws in general. Because we as African American males, minorities, and poor people, we end up mostly feeling the heaviest end of the stick, either because of people's implicit biases, because we're poor, or because some people just flat out racist. You know, and then we have our own kind doing this at the same time, because, you know, everybody feel like they can do those that could be done. You know, if that makes any sense. It's like everybody like to pick on the person that's always being picked on because it make them feel tough, and I just don't get that. And unfortunately, as an African American male in America, I happen to be a part of the larger population that get it the worst. You know, so again, I'm here 20 years later, feeling the effects of being labeled a sex offender from a situation I should have never been in the system for. But yet I'm here. Over 20 years later, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I fix this? I'm trying to figure out, where do I go from here? I'm trying to figure out, where is the justice? You know, I understand that in the beginning, this girl mother probably was humiliated from the sudden moves that she made when she couldn't find her daughter and didn't want to be embarrassed, so she moved in a particular fashion to conceal the embarrassment that her daughter brought upon the family. I even understand the fear in the daughter of having to face an angry parent after she told you what not to do. But I don't understand how y'all want to drag me down and put me in the mud because of something that happened in your household that technically I had nothing to do with. It's not my fault that the girl left. It's not my fault that she wanted to be grown. It's not my fault that she wanted to have sexual relations and sneak away from the house. It's not my fault that she had sex with one of my friends. None of that's my fault. And I just want it to be over. You know, I just want all this to go away. If the justice system is about justice, then justice should be served. If a crime was committed, then somebody should be punished. the only crime that was committed was somebody sneaking away from the house, then justice should be served in the house. I shouldn't have to deal with this for the rest of my life. I've made videos showing people how hard it is for people with records like mine. You know, how it's tough for me to find work, find apartments, find homes. And it's 2020, it's not getting any better. I can tell you that. Well, continue to follow my YouTube channel. I'm going to continue to take you through the journey of my life, and hopefully one day we'll get a better video than me just telling you the effects of life for people on the registry. You know, hopefully we'll get a video where I'm actually getting my name cleared. But until then, thank you all for watching. You know, I must say this. I've been telling my story for quite some time. You know, some people could say, boo hoo, woo woo, you wanna whine, and you know, you should have thought about that before you did what you did with the young girl. And it's like, you know, I listen to all these comments. You know, I listen to what people say, people who don't actually pay attention. But it's like, again, I literally did nothing. You know, except when it picked up a female that I never ever in life had sex with, not one time, but yet I was charged for it. We touched each other mutually, but I had no idea she snuck out of her home. You know, we was 1 year and 4 months apart. They pushed me into signing a plea deal for touching a minor to avoid 15 years in prison. The plea deal that I signed for to avoid that 15 years, I'm still here right now today, 20 years later, which is over 10 years from the mark of what I should have been done with what I signed for over 10 years ago, and yet I'm still here. So I've been telling my story now for years. I'm probably gonna be telling my story for the rest of my life. You know, I'm gonna continue to tell my story until things change with the criminal justice system, with particular laws. But if you really want, like I said throughout all these videos, if you follow my other videos, you know, it's like, some of you, maybe you are tired of hearing me talk. But if you're tired of hearing me talk, then maybe one day, you know, the young lady that got me in this mess, maybe she'd come up and actually talk. Maybe she'd talk out about the situation. Maybe, you know, not only will she talk about what happened, but maybe she would even do it to where people can ask her questions about things that they want to know. Because a lot of us, we really do want to hear your side of the story, and we do want to hear from you what actually happened. Instead of reading all these different documents from different years that states different stories that conflict with one another. So if the young lady that got me in this would like to talk out one day, which I know this might be something she will probably want to take to her grave, because that's what people do. They lie and take lies to their grave. But if one day she would actually like to clear all this up by coming forward to share her story, we will all, and when I say we, so many more people than me, would love to hear the story. And if one day you actually come out to tell the story, maybe people will stop asking you about the story. Maybe you'll stop running behind the story. And maybe, you know, you will free yourself from this story, because I am certain that times I mean, I could just imagine how times have to be hard right now, just like they are for me. But when we do certain things to certain people and we run and we're hiding for the rest of our life, I could just imagine what kind of lifestyle that leads us to, or like where it puts us. And it can't be beautiful. Can't be a beautiful picture. So we do want to hear your side of the story. And until next time.